When a black man walks into a prestigious bank dressed in plain clothes, the manager dismisses him as a nobody. What he doesn't know, the man controls a $1.7 billion trust that could change everything. And by the time the truth comes out, it's too late. This powerful and emotional story dives into the sting of racial bias, the quiet strength of character, and how one man's dignity topples a system built to exclude him. Stay until the end for a shocking twist that flips the power dynamic in the most unexpected way. It was supposed to be a quick visit, the kind of errand you fit in between a morning jog and an afternoon meeting. The lobby of Marston & Hale Private Banking smelled like eucalyptus and old money. Marble floors, glass chandeliers, leather chairs too expensive to look worn out. The kind of place where everyone whispered, wore cufflinks, and smiled with their teeth clenched. Malik Turner didn't look like he belonged there. Wearing a basic black hoodie, gray jeans, and running shoes, he didn't fit the usual clientele mold. His beard was neatly trimmed but full, his locks pulled back into a tight bun. His skin, a warm cocoa brown, carried the light of morning sun through the high glass walls as he walked in. People noticed. Oh, they noticed, especially the man behind the desk. "Can I help you?" said the receptionist, a thin white woman who didn't make eye contact. "Yes," Malik said, his voice low but confident. "I'd like to speak with someone about accessing a trust account." She didn't smile. She glanced him up and down, scanning him like he was holding up the line at a food bank. "And do you have an appointment?" she asked. "No, but I was told Mr. Franklin would be expecting me." That name dropped like a stone into still water. Her lips twitched. "One moment." She picked up the phone, speaking in hushed tones. Behind her, the frosted glass door to the main offices clicked open. A man emerged, tall, balding slightly, and wearing a smirk dressed up as a smile. Todd Remley, the branch manager. Harvard tie, Rolex wrist, big ego. He extended a hand halfway and pulled it back when Malik didn't rush to shake it. "You're here about a trust?" Todd asked, eyes narrowing. "That's right," Malik replied calmly. Todd chuckled under his breath. "All right then, why don't you have a seat while we check a few things?" 15 minutes turned to 30. People came and went, suits and skirts and silver hair. No one offered Malik water. No one acknowledged him. He wasn't invisible. He was dismissed. Todd returned with fake apology and a tighter smile. "So, Mr. Turner, we looked into the system. I'm not seeing anything under your name connected to a trust account. You sure you got the right place?" Malik nodded. "Yes. Look under TT Holdings." Todd smirked like he was humoring a child. "Well, sir, we're a private institution. We don't usually handle walk-ins, especially for high-profile accounts. I'd suggest perhaps trying a community branch. There's one about 15 blocks east. Might be more your pace." Malik didn't flinch. Instead, he pulled out a sleek black phone and dialed a number. "Hi, this is Malik Turner." "Yes, I'm at Marston & Hale's Midtown branch. Can you patch me through to Mr. Franklin?" Todd's eyes twitched. "Wait, did you say Franklin?" Malik ignored him. "Yes," Malik continued. "He may need to know that your manager here is treating me like a trespasser rather than a client." Pause. Then he added, "No worries. I'll wait." He leaned back as Todd turned 3 shades pale. Less than 5 minutes later, the air in the room shifted. The receptionist stood suddenly, smoothing her blouse as a man in an Italian suit stormed through the glass doors. Mr. Franklin, senior wealth advisor. The kind of man whose presence makes people stand straighter. He beelined to Malik. "Mr. Turner," he said with an open hand and a tone full of genuine warmth. "Please forgive the delay. We weren't expecting you until next week, but it's a pleasure." He turned to Todd and the receptionist. Why was this man made to wait? Todd stammered, We didn't have his file." "Because you didn't look." Franklin didn't yell. He didn't have to. He gestured for Malik to follow him. "We've got your private conference room ready upstairs. The documents for the $1.7 billion transfer came in this morning. Shall we review the terms together?" Todd choked. Billion, not million. Billion. Inside the conference room, behind triple pane glass and security detail, Malik sat with Mr. Franklin and two legal advisors. A folder slid across the table. The trust had been established by Malik's late grandfather, Theodore Turner, a civil rights attorney turned global investor. It had grown, over decades, into a financial empire. But Malik hadn't come to simply access funds. He was the trustee, the sole decision-maker, the power to liquidate, invest, or remove the trust's assets from any financial institution that didn't meet the equity clause outlined in the charter. That clause? Zero tolerance for racial discrimination. By the next morning, news broke that Marston & Hale's Midtown branch had lost its single largest trust client. Media outlets caught wind of the story. Whispers became headlines. Billionaire withdraws funds after racial profiling at Midtown Bank. Todd Remley was suspended. The receptionist was replaced. Franklin issued a public apology, but Malik didn't respond to any press. He didn't need to. He was too busy redirecting the $1.7 billion to black-owned banks, scholarship funds, inner-city development projects, and legal foundations designed to fight the exact kind of discrimination he faced. The lobby that once looked down on him became a case study in how implicit bias can cost more than respect. It can cost everything. Weeks later, Malik returned to the same lobby, not out of bitterness, but clarity. He watched a young black man being escorted kindly to a manager's office. No sneers, no suspicion. Change was slow, but it was happening. He pulled out his phone and texted a quote to his assistant for the Turner Foundation's next newsletter. Don't raise your voice. Improve your argument and your leverage. Because sometimes power doesn't shout. It walks in quiet, calm, and changes the game from the inside out. This story isn't just about one man and a bank. It's about the price of prejudice and the power of presence. It's a reminder that wealth isn't always worn on sleeves, and worth isn't measured by what you wear or how you speak. In a world where black excellence is still doubted until proven, this story flips that narrative. Quietly, powerfully, permanently. Don't forget to subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true-to-life storytelling that challenges injustice and uplifts truth.